Yes, I am in my pajamas. A few weeks ago, I started my investigation. It sounds so, I don't know, top level, of all the local organic farms in my area because I like to eat organic and I like to support my local farmers because Lord knows we need them. And I like just being involved in the community, getting really good nutrient dense food. So you might remember that I had placed an order from a local raw dairy farm. And this place has got it going on. I don't remember the name right now, which is so silly, but I'll have it linked in the description box down below if you happen to live in Central Florida, because they have an organization where they literally deliver to different areas around Central Florida. Now, they didn't deliver to my house. I needed to drive about 25 minutes north to Ocala and hooked up with them in the parking lot of the Cracker Barrel. I'm not kidding you. When you buy organic or start getting involved in farmers who are growing really clean, really good food, it becomes such an interesting adventure. It's almost like a scavenger hunt because it's always different how you connect with them, how you pick up the food, how you order, that sort of thing. And I personally really like it. It feels a little outlawish. I don't know, I just like it. But I had hooked up with this raw milk dairy. Now, I am not currently or haven't been currently eating dairy in my diet because my holistic nutritionist Connie, you guys know Connie, she had said let's give up dairy for a while, and by golly, when I gave up dairy I lost 10 pounds like that. So there was an inflammation factor with me in dairy. The reason I ordered from this organic farm is I wanted to see if what was inflaming my body or helping me to keep on that water weight and that inflammation was all the chemicals and the stuff they shoot into the cows and what they feed the cows. And if I ate raw organic, would I still have the same impact? And I talked to Connie about it and she says, it depends. So anyway, I'm giving it a try. I ended up placing an order with this raw dairy. I picked it up in the parking lot of the Cracker Barrel. It was really fun. The people were really fun. You know, when you get involved in the clean food, I don't know, community, it's so interesting. I learn so much every time I do it. So I ordered this cream right here. And the reason I'm talking about it is I want to show you guys this. It's just blew my mind because when I talked about it in the last video, I hadn't opened things up. Look at this cream. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like sour cream. Look at this. Isn't that interesting? I was so blown away and stunned. Here's what's interesting is it makes me wonder, what is that cream they're selling us in the grocery store that's gone through the whole pasteurization process and all that whole thing, and it's filled with chemicals and stuff you don't want. What's in that if this is what real cream looks like? It just kind of blew my mind. If you're a dairy farmer, please let us know in the description box, why is this so different than what we have in the grocery store? And also, if you're a little further down the road of getting locally sourced, really clean, really organic, nutrient-dense food, and you've got some information about this, let me know in the description box. I find this so very fascinating. So I've been using this cream in my coffee for the last few days, and also a little teaspoon in my sleepy time tea, my little sleepy time drink that I use at night. It's not a tea. I'll have it listed down below. It's called Pure Sleep. And I'm really seeing if I'm going to put on weight, if I'm going to get inflamed, what's going to happen. So here's my cream and here's my cup of coffee. So I just put it in there and it just melts and looks delicious and lovely. Now here's the thing that I have noticed with this raw milk dairy cream is that it doesn't make my coffee, I don't know if you guys can see in there, I don't want to pour it out. It doesn't turn my coffee as creamy colored or white colored as the stuff from the grocery store. I'm wondering if they add something to the grocery store product to make you feel like you're getting that whole cream thing in your coffee. I'm not sure. Somebody let me know. Anyway, I just thought this was fascinating and I want to share it with you. And if you're interested in becoming familiar with the farmers in your area who grow organic, free range, really clean, nutrient dense food, it's super easy to do. You can just go to localharvest.com. It's a nationwide website and you type in your zip code and you kind of, start poking around. It really is fun and you'll learn a lot. I enjoy it and I can't wait to go out for my next adventure to get to know other local farmers in my area. If you're new here, welcome in. I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. I'm so glad you stopped by. I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. The one thing that you might want to do while you're here, if you're interested, is sign up for my Sunday morning email newsletter. Comes clearly to your inbox every Sunday morning. It is one of the most popular things about my channel. People love it. Every Sunday morning, I send out a very short, very sweet, very free email newsletter featuring all the cool things I found throughout the week, whether it's a great sale or a good product or a good piece of information, something funny that I just couldn't help but share. It's all the things I would tell you if we were sitting by the pool, sipping an iced tea, which we can't do now because it's fall. But anyway, the link is in the description box down below. I think you're gonna love it. So I have a few things I want to talk with you about today other than my cream and my fascination with the fact that it's thick. I just find that so very entertaining. I want to show you guys the neatest garden hack I have come across in a long, long time. But first, I want to brag about my strawberries. Look at this. Look at how happy and healthy these strawberry plants are. I am so excited. I have not lost a single one except for the one that someone who shall remain nameless yanked out because she thought it was a toy. Anywho, here's the backstory on these strawberries. I ended up planting them in this green stock planter at the end of a very long day. And once I started going, I read the instructions for planting the strawberries, and it said you have to put in about 30 to 40% sand with the potting soil. Well, I didn't have any sand and I was tired and I was at the end of my patience for the day, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and plant them in just potting soil, and that's all I'm going to do, because and if I lose them, I lose them. I was just, kind of worn out and made that decision. Well, what I did is I planted them, and then I asked them to stay. I said, I would very much like for you to stay, and this will be a great home for you. And look, they stayed. And look how incredibly gorgeous. I actually even have my first little strawberry. Can you see him right there? I'm so excited about that. So this is my strawberry success. These green stock planters are just so good if you have limited space. So on to the greatest garden hack I've had. And here's the interesting thing. It was from one of you guys. I had talked about growing new tomato plants from the tomato plants that I liked from last season. And so I had taken cuttings off of my end of the season scraggly tomato plants, stuck them in water, waited till they grew some roots, and then put them in these pots. And look at how incredible these plants are going. This guy, I swear, he grew another foot last night. I'm just watching them do so very well. So my total cost for tomato plants this season was $0. So definitely, putting them in water and getting those roots out was a very, very good trick. However, I have even a better trick, and it came from one of you. I hope you tell me who you are. Someone said, you don't have to stick them in water and grow the roots out. Just do a cutting and stick it right in the soil. And after a couple of days of wilting, it's going to go great. And look at this guy right here. That's exactly what I did. I just took a cutting off of one of my plants, stripped off all the little leaves, planted it deep. In other words, I put that bottom of the cutting very deep into the soil. And look at him. A few days of wilting and he's doing great. But then I want to show you the second one I did. I did this one 2 days ago and barely any wilting at all. This guy is a little sun gold cherry tomato. Put him in, planted him deep, watered him, and just great guns. I don't think I'm ever going to grow them in water again. I can stick them right in the dirt, and I'm just going to keep taking cuttings off my plants and starting my new plants because I can grow pretty much year round here in Florida. Anyway, so that's the garden update. Things are looking wonderful out here. My flowers are starting to bloom. It's just a fun garden life here in the backyard. I'm just getting ready to go to the gym, but I wanted to talk with you guys about something that I think is kind of interesting. A few months ago, I did a home tour talking about how I furnished my home here in Central Florida, what things I brought with me from Aiken, just a little bit about my home furnishings and how I put the house together. And one of the most common comments I got, and I didn't even think about it, I should have been prepared for it, was the fact that I don't own a TV. And that is true. I don't own a TV. And to be honest with you, I'm one of the few people I know, and I don't know if I even have any friends that don't own a TV. So I thought I would tell you a little bit about how that happened, and one thing that has happened as a result of the fact that I don't own a TV. Now, I haven't really been a TV watcher for probably over 20 years. I can remember the exact morning when I just quit it all. When the girls were young, I think Gracie was around 8, Heather was 12, 13-ish. She's 33 now, so it's been a good 20 years. It was at a time where I had a habit, or my morning routine was to get up early before the girls, make my coffee, and sit down with the newspaper. I lived in the Sacramento Valley area, and it was the Sacramento Bee. If you're in Northern California, you'll crack up because that paper's been around forever. And what I would do is I would sit at the counter with my coffee, and I would go through that paper every morning. And I'd go through all the different sections except the sports. I just was never interested in sports. And that's how I would start my day. Well, this particular morning, and honestly, I can still remember it so very clearly, I was doing exactly that. I was going through the paper, and all of a sudden, I had this thought, this is not serving me. Nothing good is happening from me doing this. And there was a kind of underlying feeling that the information I was reading didn't have a whole lot of relevancy to the truth, or that it was just almost positioned to create an emotional response that was not good. There was just something really unsettling in me. All of a sudden, I'd done this for a long time, you know, that whole newspaper in the morning, watching the news in the morning sort of thing. And in that instant, I was done. And I folded that paper up and I threw it out and I canceled my subscription and I stopped watching news on the TV. Not that I was really a news watcher that much, but I would refer to it when something big happened or an event happened or something. I just stopped. And it was so dramatic because I went from really being connected to television to being totally over it. Totally. And it wasn't so much that I thought they were lying, although now I do think they're lying. I don't know if I had that thought back then, but I just knew it wasn't good for me. Nothing good was created in my life from watching that. Now, because the girls were young, I kept the TV in the house. And every now and then I'd sit down with them and watch, you know, like Modern Marvels. Heather and I used to love, you know, building really fascinating building projects. Or Gracie and I would watch an episode of So You Think You Can Dance. Something like that. In other words, I would sit down intentionally to watch something that was entertaining for one of my daughters, and I would join them and move on. If I had it to do over again, I would have ripped that TV out of my house back then and just said, that's it. We're done. Because I feel like my life, and this is my opinion, it doesn't have to be anybody else's. I feel like my life is so much more enhanced because I don't do TV. Now, so that's the story, and it has never wavered. Every now and then, I maybe will be with someone who's watching something, and maybe I'll sit down, but as far as TV goes, I don't do TV at all. And to be honest with you, here's what's happened for me over the 20 years that I have walked away from the whole television and the whole newspaper game and all that. There are a few things. The first thing is when I go to someone's house that has the TV on, you know how some people just always have the TV on? Here's an analogy I can make for you about how it feels for me. Now, I'm different than most people. I don't watch TV. So when I encounter TV, it is an experience. And the experience I have is as if there's a guy that I don't know sitting over in the corner talking really loudly about something that we're not discussing, my friend and I, or whoever's house I'm at. And they just keep on and on and on and on. And it's distracting, and they're talking a little bit too loud, and it's not connected to what we're doing. It really is an unusual thing for someone who doesn't watch TV. So that's the first thing. It seems like an intrusion. In other words, a peaceful conversation becomes this kind of interrupted, distracting event because that person is over in the chair talking too loudly. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, and this is important, I think, to me it's important. When I do catch some TV or I see somewhere else what goes on television as far as commercials, I am horrified. I am horrified that that is what is going out to people. Not only because the information to me doesn't seem very honest or relevant, but because the level at which they are communicating is so incredibly disrespectful and immature. I mean, people dancing in costumes and singing songs about products. The level of conversational maturity is so low that I am stunned that people aren't offended that someone is talking to them like that. There's no intelligence, there's no maturity, there's no even feel of respect from the presenter to the audience. I mean, it's horrifying once you get away from it. And then the last thing is, and I know this is, maybe if you watch TV, this is going to seem weird for you or different, but this is just my perspective as someone who hasn't really watched TV in over 20 years. The thought of, at the end of the day, or what people would quote as the end of the day, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, to sit down in front of the TV and watch stuff, it seems to me like, wow, I can do so many other things with that time. And what I do is that I do things around the house, or I read a book, or I paint these days, or I go out and garden. In other words, I feel like I get so much more done because I am not really hooked into that TV thing. Oh, I got to watch this episode. Oh, the next episode is on, and the next episode's on. I'm in a position right now where I just don't give a rip. I couldn't care less because there's nothing that's going on there that is engaging for me. And it's just a function of I have built up a life that doesn't include TV. And so I have other things and other interests that I would rather do. So that's the TV story. What I want to know from you is, do you watch TV? I want to hear from those of you who don't watch TV, who don't own a TV. Make sure you comment down below and tell me what your experience is. If you're an avid TV watcher and you think, oh my gosh, I couldn't live without the TV, let me know. I want to know why it is so, what you love about it. Anyway, I'd like to just start a conversation. And I have a little challenge for you. And you may not like this challenge. You don't have to do it. But if you're curious about how things might change in your life, I would challenge you to go 24, 48, 72 hours without turning on the TV. I want to know what happens. Like, chart the emotions. Like, how does it feel? Does it feel lonely? Does it feel weird? Does it feel disconnected? Do you not know what to do? Do you love the extra time? What it is? I would love for a few of you, if you're interested, to try that challenge and then let me know how it goes for you. Maybe your experience will be the same, maybe it won't. The bottom line for me is every time I'm exposed to TV, and this is just me, don't take it personally if you're a TV watcher, every time I'm exposed to TV, I can't wait to get away from it. I really can't. It is so peaceful at my house, and there's so many interesting things to do that I couldn't imagine having a TV in my home. It would just be so disruptive. Anyway, that's the TV story. Now I'm off to the gym, and then when I come back, I have something fun I want to share with you. Well, I'm back from the gym. It was a good workout. My fitness routine has changed up a little bit. I'm always sort of tweaking it. I'm tweaking my diet. I'm tweaking my fitness thing. I seem to just flow in that direction. That sounds fun. And lately, I have been going to the gym every single day. And I alternate upper body and lower body. Every day I do the rowing machine, and then I'll either do upper body or lower body. Today was upper body. You probably saw that. And I'm in and out anywhere from a half an hour to maybe 40, 45 minutes, depending on how many exercises I do and how much I'm taking my time or how much I'm zipping through it because I have other things to do. But I'm really enjoying that right now. I don't know if it's something that will continue on forever or if I'll go back to just 2 or 3 days a week doing upper body and lower body on the same day. I'm not really sure. But I'm liking this one, and it almost feels like my body is responding in a good way in that it has to gear up and do some type of strenuous exercise every single day, and I think there might be a benefit to that, but who knows? A month from now, I may be back to the 2 or 3 times a week. What I want to talk about now is a new device that I've been using, and gosh, it's almost never that I talk about a new device because I have pretty much found what works for my skin. Now, if you're new here and you don't know me, I am 66 years old. I started my skincare routine when I was 62. I've actually been able to make a lot of positive changes, at least I think so, to my skin in the 4 years that I've had my channel. If you want to see what my skin looked like when I first started my channel, just go on over there, scroll all the way down to the bottom and look at a few of the first few videos, and you can see what my skin looked like then and what it looks like now. What I'm going to be talking about today is a new microcurrent device. This is the Zip Halo, and maybe you've seen it. I missed the whole original Zip thing. I guess it's been out for 7 years, the original Zip. I missed that whole train. I didn't even really become familiar with the Zip until maybe 6 or 7 months ago. I don't know why it wasn't on my radar screen. Now, I am not new to microcurrent devices. I had 2 new faces when I first started my channel. I went through 2 of them, both of them broke. I don't think that that is an unusual experience. I think a lot of people go through a few new faces for some reason. I don't know why. They're not as generous as they could be about return policies when your device breaks. So I moved on from the new face and I ended up using this. This is the MyoLift Mini, and I really, really like it. It's a microcurrent device, and you run it over your face and it does wonderful things for your skin and for the tone of your face. However, since I tried this, I have not used this not even once. For some reason, this seems to just be what I reach for, and that's what I want to talk about today. This is the Zip Halo, and this has been out, gosh, I don't know, maybe a year and a half. It is a less expensive version of the original Zip. At least that's the research that I've seen. Why do I like this so much? That's what I've been asking myself, thinking about filming this segment, is what is it about this that I have not touched my other microcurrent device since I started using this? And I think it's just that ease of use and cute factor. Subjectively, I just really, really enjoy using this. And with at-home devices, the efficacy is highly attached to whether you're going to use them or not. I mean, if you don't ever use it, if it sits in the drawer, it's not going to work. However, if you pull it out of the drawer because you like it, it's quick, it's fun, it's cute, this really does hit all those little buttons. This little microcurrent device is so likable. This little microcurrent device is so likable, and I'm trying to figure out. I think it's because it's small. It's super easy to use. This has microcurrent and nanocurrent. Now, if you're new to microcurrent and you're not really understanding, I'll just give you a short little brief synopsis of what it is. What you really need to know is, does it work and is it fun to use? And the answer is yes and yes. Microcurrent actually works in waveforms. It does a few things. First of all, it stimulates ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, which is the spark that helps your skin renew and repair. It really is the currency on which your body runs. So this stimulates ATP, which really helps with the brightness, freshness, firmness of your skin. In addition, those waveforms stimulate your muscles underneath the skin and will give you a lift. With microcurrent, you really can, in a very subtle way, sculpt your face. And if you've ever used a microcurrent, particularly on your cheekbone area, you know doggone good and well you can carve out cheekbones using a microcurrent device. You also can raise your eyebrows, and if you go over to the Zip website, they have before and after pictures, and you can see the difference in how your face responds to having those muscles stimulated with the different waveforms. Now, the gal that created the zip. She's an esthetician, and she isn't called, I think she's called an electrical esthetician. In other words, her whole practice is all around waveforms and microcurrents. She's the one that invented the zip, both the original and the zip halo. When I'm thinking about why I like this so much, there's a few different things that come to mind. First of all, it's very, very small. It's easy to pack and carry, and this was the only device that I took with me to California, and I used it almost every day. It's really easy to use. You just move it over your skin, making sure that the two contact points are always in connection with your skin, and you just move it up and down. It's so easy to use. In addition, I'll have to say this, and I am so surprised to say this. Zip makes hands down the best, there's not even a close second, conductivity gel I have ever used for a microcurrent device, and I've used a ton of them, and I created my DIY formula that I used myself for a long, long time. This conductivity gel is simply amazing. One of the things that I absolutely love about it, and everybody who talks about this gel says the same thing, it doesn't dry down, and that's one of the most frustrating things about using a microcurrent device. You need to reapply the gel or hydrate your face with a spray or something. This does not dry down. It's glycerin based, and it has that really silky, lovely, just yummy feel on the skin. And I think half the joy of using this device for me is the fact that this gel is so lovely. They have this gel, the silver container, and then there's 3 others, and you can go over to their website and look and see. They have a silver version, a gold version, and then a crystal version. Now this gel is, in my mind, super affordable. I mean, it really is affordable. I have not used my DIY formula since I tried this, and I about lost my mind when I tried this. That's how good it was. It just makes using the device so lovely the way that this slips over the skin. I haven't used the silver, gold, or crystal formulations yet. However, I am thinking about ordering the crystal formulation because it is so packed with incredible nutrients. And one thing that a microcurrent device will do when you're using it on your skin is it will actually push the ingredients into your skin. And I'm thinking if I get that crystal formula and use this, I'm going to get so many great nutrients into my skin that it's really going to be powerful. This does work really, really well. In other words, after I've used it, and I used it this morning, my face looks a lot tauter, a lot tighter, a lot more carved out. The texture of my skin looks better. A lot of microcurrent devices do that. I think this has a little bit of a leg up because it's not only microcurrent, but nanocurrent. So it has 2 types of currents. In addition, it is so doggone quick. This comes loaded with a treatment out of the box. In other words, you take it out of the box, you plug it in, charge it up, turn it on, and I think it's like a little 6 or 7 minute treatment. Half on one side of your face, then it beeps, and then you do half on the other side of the face. You really don't have to worry how you're moving it. You just get this microcurrent onto your skin, and it's really going to make quite the improvement in the texture tone, just in brightness of your skin. One thing that this has in addition, and a lot of devices have them now, and I don't like any of them except this one, is an app. And if you're as app phobic as I am, I'm like, come on people, don't app me again. I don't want any apps. I want analog. I want to talk to real people. I want to do real stuff. I'm tired of apps. I reluctantly downloaded the Zip app onto my phone because I knew I was going to be talking about this and I wanted to be able to tell you my experience. Well, here's what happened. I love it. The app is really, really good. It is different than other apps that I've used for other devices because the videos on the app are so good. The founder, I think her name is Melanie. I'm sorry if I misspoke that. I looked at it a few minutes ago and I'm pretty sure it's Melody. She does the videos, the instructional videos that go along with the different treatments that you can do. She is so pleasant. She is so helpful. There's soft music in the background. It's actually kind of fun. So I'm looking forward to going through the app and trying the different treatments just to see which ones that I really like and which ones are fun. So if you're app phobic, I totally get it. But I can almost guarantee you that if you download the app onto your phone, you're going to love it. If you download it and you don't love it, you can message me and tell me you didn't like it. So I'm sorry about that. But it really is good. They've done a really good job of making it fun to move along in any treatment program with the owner. I have been using this for about, I think, a little more than 2 months now. I really do like it. And I use it more than I was using my other microcurrent device. I think because it's so fun and I like this conductivity gel so much. I'm really looking forward to trying the crystal conductivity gel. It's a little pricey, but I actually think it's going to be worth it. So I'll let you guys know. I'll give you a little update when I get that gel and what I think about it. I use this probably maybe 3 or 4 times a week. It's super quick. It's super easy. It just feels nice, and my skin always looks so much better when I'm done. My closing thoughts on this is if you already have a microcurrent device, I don't think you need to go out and buy this one. Absolutely not. If it breaks, if you have a new face, it might break. You might want to take a look at this. This really is a nice little device. If you're thinking about a microcurrent device, I can tell you I absolutely love this one. It really is cute. It's fun. It's easy to use. You pull it out of the drawer more often than other microcurrent devices I've used. I love the conductivity gel. So for me, this device is a big thumbs up, and I'm happy that I tried it. Well, that's what I have for you today. I hope you guys found this video fun, useful, and helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You guys know it just tickles me when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.